All right. Hey, welcome to Faulkner Fixes All. Yeah, we're still doing it. We're not giving up. Okay, so let's see. The last video I was messing around with the chain and doing stuff like that to get it to run, and the cabling. We put the fork in. Okay, new day. Well, it's nighttime, but hey, bear with me. You know, I had to make a whole bunch of frames today, and now I'm doing some bike stuff. Yeah, these are all done for wifey. Thank goodness. Okay, so you know, when you build a bike and you use the incorrect parts, and then you have to go back and put the right parts on. This is a 5-speed. This cleans up nice, man. I put some rust remover on that. I was gonna bring it to Fred, but you know, he's busy. He did donate these though. I brought my old nasty rusty ones, and he exchanged them for these. Thanks, Fred. All right, good to have a neighbor across town that is doing the same thing. Fred does the cruisers more than the... Fred doesn't do the S5 bikes. Anyway, so we got this 5-speed. That cleaned up pretty good. When you have this off, it's good to clean it. And kind of went through this a little bit. I didn't take it apart. I just popped the seals out. There's plastic seals here, both sides. They're really hard to get out without breaking. And if you break them, you're kind of done. But I was able to blow it all out, clean it out, spray some lithium in there. You know, it's not great, but it'll be okay. These are hard to find, the 5-speed ones with this big, you know, the threaded style that are big like that. I forget what that is. 36. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33. Okay, well, it's a 33. I think this is a 12 or a 14 in here. Okay, but that's, you know, that's 5-speed. Goes on there like that. Okay, so since we blew it already and we put the wrong parts on this rim, now we're going to take it back off. This is a Shimano tool, and this takes a different one. I can show you real quick. It's a fine threaded one. If I can. What's in here? Yeah, it's different, trust me. Oh, here's one. Yeah, it takes this style to get the Schwinn French Navars off. I do have one that you don't have to take the axle out to use, but you get the idea. This is a different style for Navar. I believe this to be Navar. It's a very fine teeth on there. It goes in there like that. But I have another one you don't have to take that off. It's more like this one. Anyway, this Shimano. Let's take this Shimano off. Now, we didn't put the whammy Titan on this. We never pedaled the bike. So this should just come right off. And it will. Okay. Okay. You guys still with me? We're taking off this nice new freewheel that's really nice. But small. We're taking off this Schwinn 10-speed one. Here's the difference. Schwinn 10-speed. Schwinn 5-speed. This cleaned up nice. I'll save it for another 10-speed. But the 5-speed, they just gave you a lower cog because you didn't have that front gear to deal with. You didn't have 10 speeds. Okay, so this was on an S5 wheel, which is right over here. This came off of this really nasty S5 wheel that was on that brown Collegiate. That's 72. It's a 72, by the way. I was wrong. So it should just thread right on and be perfect. And there's already grease on this. We've got some grease on here already, so we're okay. All right, let's put this freewheel protector on. And we'll put the Schwinn 5-speed Navar. I believe that to be Navar. I don't think that's Shimano. It's hard to say. It probably is Navar. And we'll go backwards a little and we'll catch it. messed up already. I'm going to have to find that tool. It's good not to cross-thread your freewheel. Come on now. There we go. I almost cross-threaded the freewheel. It would have been great. Okay, you could probably use a chain whip now if you really wanted to. I should probably show you how to use a chain whip. Yeah, let's use a chain whip. But that's correct. That spacing is correct now. And when we put it in the bike, I think the whole chain hitting the fender stay and hitting the stay in the frame will be done. Okay, this is the chain whip. It's just a cheapy little Charlie. Cycle Works 36-158. This is for 10 speeds and 5 speeds. It's the thinner chain. And you just put it around here. And we'll put it on the third gear, I guess. Okay, so you get the idea. The chain whip goes on there, and you it's good if it's like on the ground a little bit or the table. And probably not pulling towards your face. Would be better to probably go away from your face like this. Okay, they can pop. Nice tool to have. So now we know when we start to pedal this thing, it'll only move a little bit, and this distance will remain constant. It's good. Okay. So let's put the tube and tire on real quick and see if we can seat this baby up. Now we already did repack all this. This is good. We're good on this. Let's get a rim liner, put it on. I bought 25 of these. They're 26 by 16 millimeter. You know, you can make these. It's just kind of a pain. You can make them, but you got to cut an old inner tube and glue them, and then use a gasket punch and punch this hole. And you know what? It takes a while. And so I got a deal on like 25 of them. It was really cheap. And I just was tired of making them. If you do a lot of bikes, if you mess with bikes every day of your life, you know, like people like me, then you might just want to buy a bunch of these. They always are no good on old bikes. They're always bad. Okay, so you get it on, but don't take your finger out right away. Leave your finger in there and run it along. Run it along, make sure, see how it's off of there? My finger's still in there, so I got it now. Don't take your thumb out of there, or your finger out of there, until you get this straight. See, it went on the rim, but it's not even protecting the spokes at all. Okay, so we're good. Now let's pull this hole back. There. Okay, now let's give it a double check. It looks pretty good. It's all in the center. That one's not. Yeah, okay. That looks good. All right. Always check on Schwinn rims and other rims like this. See how there's a sharp mark here? You might want to take a file and hit that. Those are kind of sharp. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that real quick. I know, I just put this on. I should have told you that before. This is sharp right here. And I've had tubes pop on these things. So yeah, we just put that on, but we noticed how sharp that was. Let's get the old trusty file. You know, not everybody's as cautious and thorough as you are. So we're just taking this file and we're going to run it on these sharp weld marks there right there. It's kind of sharp. Yes, it's messing with the finish. Hey, calm down about the finish, okay? It's okay. Yes, it's taking some of the chrome off. I'm really sorry, but I'd rather have a little chrome loss than a popped inner tube. And files only cut in the forward direction, by the way. Okay, that's smoother. That's pretty sharp. Okay, that's better. Now let's put the rim liner back on. Hello? Okay. Okay, we're putting the rim liner back on because somebody wasn't happy with that finish spot there. Okay. 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 And remember, keep your hand in there. Keep your finger in there. You're going to work it around the whole way. Make sure it's straight. See us off here? Look at that. We missed that whole section. Okay, good. Good. Take your time. Okay, now this is way off now. We got to pull it back down. Be careful when you do that. Sometimes you can break the little hole there. Okay, now this is not sharp anymore. We had an issue. We solved the issue with the file. It's not sharp. All right, let's get a tube. Let's keep going. Look at this. No more flats. Not a paid promotion, because these don't work. No more flats. This is going to last forever, right? Yeah, right. It's just a cheap tube with some slime in it, okay? Why don't you just put on the box, cheap tube. It should say, cheap tube with slime. Then, that would be honest. Okay, let's get this open. Quit messing around. Quit talking. We actually have the compressor today we can use, which is nice. And the heater is definitely on out here. Okay, take this stupid green cap off. Come on, folks. I want people knowing I have a slime tube. Not putting that back on there. Anyway, they're a little heavier. They do have slime in them, this green stuff, to prevent flats. And the tube is a little heavier. We don't care. Pop this up. Just put a little in to get the shape. Let's get a tire. Always check the inside of the tire. We don't know what's happening. I've been welding and grinding around this tire and doing woodwork. We don't know if there's tacks in there or something, you know. All right, let's put the tube in. Could be some nail-in brads or something. We don't know. Okay, if it's an old tire, use a rag on your hand. Put a rag on your hand and run it in there. And that way, you're not going to catch something. And, you know, it's a great way to find out if there's something in there. All right, we're going to use some silicone spray, unbranded. And friend was watching and said use the silicone spray instead of the Armor All. And, you know, I think we're just going to spray it up and see what happens. Stuff dries pretty quickly, so we got to really move. All right. Yeah, I did get some on the tube. Oh well. A little silicone spray on the tube isn't going to be the end of the world. Okay, so we want to put the final bead on, but there's still air in the tire, so we got to let that out. You guys still with me here? And now it should pop right on, and it does. Okay, so we put that on with just our hands. We know it's good. It's not punctured or anything. It's really greasy and oily. Let's see if we can seat this baby. Give it the old college try. Well, I think it's seated pretty good. I don't see any low spots. Huh. Oh, there's a low spot right here. Yep. Look. Okay. Let's see here. Right here is a low spot. And we're gonna put some oomph in it and see if that pops out. Now listen carefully. Ooh, it's popping. I heard it. Oh, it came out. Yep. Okay. All right, so it did seat. It's probably got about 100 pounds in it. We got to let some out. I'd like that to be a little straighter. I think we're okay. Yep, I think we're okay. Let's let a little air out. That's a lot in there. Okay, that feels a little better. All right, I'm going to wipe this excess stuff off. I think I was a little bit... I think I was a little generous with the silicone spray. Well, the excess might protect the rim too. Yeah, I was a bit generous. It's a bit generous with that spray. Okay, so we have, I think we've seated this pretty good. Let's give it a test spin. Hey, that's not bad. The other side. Yeah, let's seat it up good. Okay, now we have a, you know, it's not bad. This is not a bad back rim. Let's get a black valve stem. I'm not putting that green one back on. There's no way I'm putting that on. Yeah, I'll look around for hours before I put that green thing back on. Come on, you know. Okay. Well, I don't see one handy. I refuse to put that green stem back. I'm gonna get one. Hang on a sec. I refuse. Okay, we're gonna use a black plastic one. All right, so let's go over here and change the derailleur out. Or we could put the front wheel together. Well, let's dive into it. I hate to, but yeah, we gotta dive in. Yeah, let's put the other derailleur on. This is just me taking stuff off that's wrong that I put on. Yeah, I know. Wasn't the most smartest thing. We are. We're gonna put this one on. This one cleaned up real nice. I soaked it really good. We cleaned everything. I blew it all out. It's a little oily, but yeah, it's a GT100. It's 4 or 5 speeds. It came off that other parts bike. There should be no problem with this. The action's good. And hopefully, I can just shorten this housing maybe. If anything. It might be just long enough. We gotta take that little nub thing off. Let's get that off. Okay. Okay, so I was looking at the analytics, and 81% of you people are freeloaders. Refusing to subscribe to my wonderful channel. Bicycle karma is going to come and get you. Yeah, 81% are not subscribed. Okay, 9mm. I actually got the right size this time. And take this 9, take this off. it'd be nice if I didn't have to modify this cable or anything, you know, or use a new cable because I messed up 8 on the other bolts on the derailleur gear. And we're just going to we're not going to break the chain apart. I think the chain's going to be too short now anyway, and if that's the case, it's going to be a bummer. But I'll just let that hang for a minute, and we'll put this back in for safekeeping because this is actually a really good derailleur. It's just not for the big 5-speed gear. It's not for the 32 gear. And it was going to hit the spokes maybe, even with that small protector, it didn't look good. Okay, so we're going to use this 9 to take this off. And that's off, just like that. So I put this wheel back on and even gave it a little snug just to keep this derailleur together. It's a nice derailleur. It's just not for Schwinn 5-speed. Okay, here's the GT100. I'm really hoping that this part is all hunky-dory happy, because then I'm going to have to, if this is too short, I'd have to shorten this a little bit, or maybe the housing up there I could shorten a little bit to get the cable to be longer. When you shorten the housing, you can make the cable a little longer, and I'm hoping not to do that. I'm hoping this just fits in like it's supposed to, because it's a wonderful Schwinn 5-speed GT100. Okay, so 81% of you people are freeloading. That's the beauty of the internet. You don't have to subscribe to anything you don't want to. Okay, that's right on the money. So we know this is the right derailleur. It came off of that 72 girls collegiate over there. And this is a 70. I don't think they changed much in 2 years. Okay, that's ready. All right, and let's just, I guess we'll put the chain on now. And let's see what's happening here. Oh, look at that, that's too small. Oh, bummer. Yeah, this would work, but this ferrule, we're gonna have to trim this ferrule off, I think. Or switch it around. Let's see here. Man, I really did a good job cleaning that derailleur up. Yeah, it's too small. Yeah, we got to snip this little metal part off, and that's kind of a bummer because I wanted that on there. Or we could drill this out, but I don't want to do that. All right, let's snip it. Snip it. Man, that silicone spray is super slippery. It's all over my hands. Dude, that stuff is... That guy wasn't playing around. He was right. Use the silicone spray. It'll get on there. It'll make that tire seat. All right. Goodbye. Now we got to make sure that's opened up right, and it's not. Yeah, we gotta jam something in there. Let me get something. Probably put it away. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, my trusty map maker's compass. My nautical. Use something nautical on a bike. Okay, so we got that open. And I don't know why I don't have better cable cutters. Okay, that looks good. This is just a little compass. An old one. Okay, so now we cut that ferrule off, so this should fit in here. And it does. Oh, good. Okay, let's do it. Man, I gotta get this silicone stuff off my hands. It's gnarly. Dude. And there's still grease on this cable from when I was messing with it earlier. Make sure that goes in there. There, it went in. Okay, God, I gotta get this off. Whew. All right, so we got the 8-9 combo in my hand. Come back down in here and make sure it's gonna work, and it will. Be nice if the cable was a little bit longer, but I think we're gonna be okay. You guys see? Yeah. You guys can see what's going on, can't you? Yep. Sorry about the heater running. It's just the way it is. It's cold. And I'd like not to freeze to death. Alright, I don't see the hole in there. Oh, the bolt's in backwards or something. Shoot. What's going on here? I think that bolt's in backwards. Oh, there it is. Okay, it was not in backwards. Okay, I can see it. It's going in. It's fiddly. Very fiddly. Whew. Okay. I'm trying to get this through this little tiny hole in this bolt. There. Whew, man, that was a rough one. Okay. Let's put this bolt on before it becomes a problem again. So yeah, we're putting a Schwinn GT100 back on, which is correct. And it came from that parts bike. And we know it to be correct. Now we're screwing in the adjuster barrel. And we're going to put it almost all the way down so we can pull it tight. I think before we actually adjust it, I'm going to put the wheel on. Because this was on another bike and we don't know what's going on. And we really should put the wheel on before we cinch this down hardcore. We should put the wheel on. So let's put this chain on. Let's just pretend this chain is gonna be okay and put it on. These are 8. Oh, wow, what are these? That is not an 8mm. Huh, that's strange. Oh, it is. It's just loose. Okay, bear with me. Okay, back up we go. In we go. There's some crud in there. Great. Oh. Hey, I thought someone cleaned this derailleur out. What's the problem here? This should be spotless. Spent hours cleaning this. You know, when you're picky like me, you wipe that dirt off. Okay. Let's put this back on. That's correct. Okay. Let's tighten it up. It was 8mm. It was just loose. Okay, so let's make sure this one's good too. That was good too. All right, let's put the wheel on and see if this chain is going to be okay. I have my doubts. I really do. We should probably get a wrench in my hand. Okay. Or my pocket. Okay, you 81%ers. You're getting a freebie. Alright, so this wheel is all repacked. We checked out the cones earlier. We greased up, we oiled up that freewheel. Got the 5-speed spoke protector on there. It is definitely a 5-speed setup now. 100% stock Schwinn 5-speed setup. Besides the cable. And maybe, oops, tubes and stuff. That was great. Don't mar the paint. Okay, you just stay over there for a second. Okay, we got these nice. I found some of these too. Those are sweet. That's Schwinn also. All right, let's get one of these bolts on before the whole thing falls down. And we'll put this chain on in a second. Let's just get one cinched down and we'll get the chain right. And we got one for the other side too. Because that's how we roll. Okay. And we'll just get a little cinch. Just to hold it in there for a sec. I don't want it falling off on me. Okay, it's in there for a minute. We'll adjust the wheel in a second. Let's get this chain on here. And let's lower you down a little bit. Okay, you 81%ers. 81%. I'm not going to subscribe. That guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's never worked on any Schwinns. He doesn't even own a Schwinn. Now, yeah, that would be a doozer. All right, so I'm really hoping that we don't have to lengthen the chain. But now that we've got this on, and the cable's already slacked up, look at all the slack here, we can pull this cable really tight. Once this is adjusted, and it looks pretty good. We could back it out a little bit. Let's see. And to do that, you go in here. This is the low gear one. This is for the high gear one. I think we're going to back it out a little bit. I can see it's got to go in a little bit. Okay, so now that we have this adjusted for the low, we're going to pull this cable really tight and cinch down that bolt. And they do have a tool for that. They have this little cable cincher tool, but we got this. That's what we got. Okay. All right, and this adjuster barrel's all the way in. Okay, and the paddle. The paddle is all the way up. This barrel here is in. That's in the holder there. These two things are in their holders. This is in that holder. And that's inside that adjuster barrel. Now you can pull it tight and tighten up the crimp bolt. You always make sure all those things, all those points are correct. And then if you tighten it before that, you're just messing up, because it's either going to ruin the cable end, the housing, or if it does pop in, it's going to be way out of adjustment and you won't be able to shift gears very well because the paddle won't be doing very much. You only get like half on the paddle, will only move like a halfway, and you won't get it into high gear, low gear. It'll be stuck in like fourth or something. or second. Okay, so we got that on. Let's adjust the wheel a little bit. And then we'll adjust the low adjustment for the derailleur, which is right here. That's an easy one. Let's get this wheel. I'm not quite happy how straight it is. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. World's worst wrench for this. Okay. All right, so now we have the wheel where we want it. Looks pretty good. And let's run it through. Let's make sure this is all working now. And we'll run it through, but we'll be careful because we don't know what that adjustment is doing yet. This came off another bike. We don't know. It could go too far and hit this derailleur protector, spoke protector, which is okay. It's a really good fat one. It's a big one. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah. It's fifth. It's fourth. Good strong third. That's the gear you're in a lot. Second, and let's see if it goes to first. It goes to first. Oh, look at that. We don't even have to adjust it. The adjustment is correct. It's in first, and the low adjustment is kicked in, and there's no way that can hit the freewheel protector, the spoke protector. And it looks like it's pretty much in line there. I'll probably ride it around a little bit at first and maybe adjust that later, but I think we're good. And that goes to show that, you know, they made the Schwinn frame pretty uniform because that was on another bike, a girl's bike, and I didn't mess with this adjustment at all. All right, let's go back down to the gears. All right, that's good. Cable's still tight, and we don't have that little protector end for the cable yet, but we're okay. This is good. I think we're going to leave the chain the way it is. I don't think we're going to take a link out. I think we're okay. I think that's a little bit loose there, but I think we're just going to run it and see. All right, so mild up and down hop. Some of that is the gum wall tire. Some is the rim. We're just going to run it the way it is. That's life. We do have a gum wall tire, new tube, new liner. All right. I know this video is getting long in the tooth, but let's steal a brake off this other bike, even though it's not cleaned up or anything. And we'll steal the brake off. We'll put the fender on, and maybe I'm getting kind of tired. I've been out here in the frame shop all day. Yeah, isn't it nice just to have a bike laying around for parts? You know, just stealing parts off of a girl's bike. That's what I do. Poor old Schwinn Collegiate. Man, someone put 1,015 miles on this bike, and now I'm stealing parts off of it. Ah, sacrilege. Okay, here's that nice fender. It's already been clear coated. Ready to go. Okay, so we're just gonna we're gonna whistle this on, as I say. And I'm definitely not using these pads. Look how chalky those are. Man, you could probably go to school and write on a chalkboard with these. Ew. Okay, we're just gonna chuck this brake on. It's the right one. It's not clean or anything, but it's gonna hold this on so we can put the front wheel on. We'll get to that cleaning the brake later. Don't worry. You know I'm a freak. You know that's going to be shiny and clean, right? You know I'm going to do that. Okay. This is just for a second. We're just going to put this on for a second. Just to hold the fender for a second. All right, look at that chrome stay. Isn't that nice? All right, so we got another tire and we got a wheel. Let's go back over here. Oh man, we're getting some stuff done out here tonight. Move this junk out of the way. Goodbye, 10-speed junk. We got 5-speed stuff. Okay, so this is what we came up with. If you remember, if you watched the last video, I was concerned about... I was concerned about this being the only piece holding the bearing races together, keeping them together. Now, I don't know if this was for a speedometer setup. It might be, because there was a speedometer on the bike. I mean, maybe this is the part that bridges the speedometer drive out away from the rest of the mechanism so it doesn't bind up. Maybe it's too wide with with the jam nuts on it to run one of these. I don't know. I'm not running a speedometer. I never do. So the heck with that and the heck with this. I hate these. No, we're not going back to the 1930s. We're going to use jam nuts. See? Jam nuts against the cone. Both sides. Both sides. Hello? Okay, keyword. Jam nuts on both sides. Anyway, we went through this. And the cones were pretty good. There was some slight brittling age from it being worn and people riding it around on bad grease. That's what happens. But the inner cones on the hub were very good. And I slapped it back together and it's nice. There's nothing wrong with this. It's a nice used S5 front rim. And it has the original liner on it, which we're going to leave on there. That's the original one. We're going to leave it on there. There is one loose spoke somewhere, but we'll worry about that later. Okay, so let's get another tube. And this flavor is 50% thicker. That's a bunch of crap. This is not 50% thicker. Oh, they give you those terrible little plastic poke your eyeballs out with these. Oh, these are great. You don't need those when we're going. You know how to put a tire on with your hands. You don't need those. All right, so 50% thicker. You want to compare this to an old tube? Let's put some air in it. We'll compare it. Well, they give you a cap. Look at that. 50% thicker than a new tube, maybe. No, this is not 50% thicker. Sorry. There's a tube over here. Well, I can't find the other tube. It's somewhere. But no, it's not 50% thicker. An old tube made by Schwinn is just as thick as this. So 50% thicker than the stuff they sell nowadays. Misleading. It should say, okay, let's get the box out. It should say 50% thicker than the new crap they sell today. There you go. All right, so we don't know. I've been grinding and welding near this. This is a wood shop here too. So we don't know what's in here. We're gonna run our thumb in there and maybe we'll catch something. Okay, and this has a kind of a blemish here. I don't know what happened there. Okay, let's pop it in. Let's keep going. If we can get this front wheel on tonight, man, we'll really be styling. And that way the 81% of you can go and subscribe after I get this front wheel on. Not giving up on that, huh? Okay. It just helps the channel grow, that's all. I want to get these out to as many people in the world working on old bikes. Doesn't have to be a Schwinn. I want everybody to know how to service their bike. I want people to put bike shops out of business, okay? If I could personally Put bike shops out? That's a terrible thing to say. No, I don't want to put bike shops out of business. Okay, so look, we're going to check this little sharp bit here. Ah, this one's good. This one's not so sharp. Right here it is. Oh, dude. Spoke too soon. Alright, so this is kind of sharp here. That's the other one. This side's good. I can feel it. This side is a little sharp. With the old man glasses on. Yes, files only cut in the forward direction. Not great. I think I made it worse. Okay, that's better. Okay. Yeah, you gotta watch those, especially on non-schwinn rims. Sometimes there's a really sharp sucker there, and it'll mess you up. You're ruining the fine chrome finish. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's silicone spray this, but this time we won't be so liberal with the silicone spray. Just use a little bit, okay? Yes, plenty. And more than enough. All right. 50% thicker. You're right. Then what? Tubes from the early 2000s? Okay. All right, you guys still here? Good. Get one side on. And we'll pop this other side on. And then we'll let a little air out of the tube. Yeah, we got a little air out. At least these things are good for letting air out. That's about all they're good for. Okay, so we let the air out of the tube, and we should just be able to pop this on and give it the old thummy wummy. There we go. All right, so hopefully this will seat nicely like the other one. And it's not. Because A, we used all the air in the compressor, and B, I did not sprinkle enough silicone spray on it. I can see this huge flat spot here, right here, and on this side down here by the stem. Okay, so let's turn the compressor on. I hate to, but okay, bear with me. Here we go. Oh, let's plug the compressor in. Here we go. Okay, bear with me. We got to run the compressor for a second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so it's still low down here, but we're gonna give it the business here. All right, let's see. It's low right here. You guys can't see nothing. Yeah. All right, maybe you guys see now. It's definitely low right here. And on this other side, it's low where I sprayed all that stuff in. So really, it's low near the valve stem. So let's give it the business here. Oh, did you hear that? Yeah, I heard a pop. I heard this pop right here. Pop. And this side looks good as well. Awesome. Okay, now that my hands are covered in this silicone spray, and it's about 80 pounds in there, we better let a little bit out. All right, and with this tube, they actually give you a black cap. Put that on. And there's a little discoloration on the tire up here. I got these off of eBay. Looks like it's been sitting around a while. They said they were new. It looks a little discolored. Well, we'll hit it with some armor all in a minute. Some armor-like protectant. Okay, let's give it a spin. That's not bad. Little rim hop. Oh, look at that big wump there. What's going on there? Something's happening there. What's happening there? Oh, there's a low spot right here. We missed that low spot. Dang. Okay. Let's let some air out and we'll spray some stuff in here again. Man. I wish I wasn't so into perfection. Not that this rim is perfect. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. Let's see if we can pop this little low spot in. Yep, it worked. Woo, man. That's a rough one. That's probably 100 pounds in there. Yeah. See, on new tires, you just go for it. But, you know, you're not going to put 100 pounds on an old tire. Let's go get the pressure gauge and see what's in there. Yeah, let's see what's in here. Just for giggles. That's why, you know, new tires, you just go for it. You put 100 PSI in there and you make it happen. But old tires, you don't do that. What do we got here? That is, oh, that's only 65 pounds. Huh. And this says max 65. Well, we're right on the money. We're just going to leave that alone. Okay. It is slightly discolored. Which, I don't know. Maybe that'll shine it with some Armor All or something. It's strange. All right, let's put it on. Because we can. We got it going on. And it has double jam nuts. Yay! Yay! Okay, we're getting there. We don't need this compressor anymore. So we can plug this light in. In fact, we'll turn the compressor off. How about that? All right, let's put this wheel on. We're doing good. We are doing well. Okay, you 81%ers. I don't want to hear it. Hey, I made it right. I did all this work tonight. So you could enjoy this over your holiday. Hope you guys can see. Yeah, probably. Okay, 81%. Hey man, can you quit talking about the 81%? Just get to work. a little wider because I put those jam nuts on. And there's no wheel nuts, there's no wheel locks on this particular fork and this year. I'll show you the locks. They do not, this is not a bike that has them. And I'll show you. It's good to have washers on both sides of the fender stay, and I may make that right in the future. But for now, we just got the one washer. We're just gonna go for it. It's not bad. There is one loose spoke we got to deal with, and we're going to take these chalky suckers off right now. That's not good. Yeah, these chalky devils are off of here. But save the washer, because and save the little acorn bolt, because the new pads don't really have a very good acorn bolt and they don't have a very good washer. But you don't need this anymore, because the new pads are double cramped. They're double crimped in there. Well, they say they are. But save, you know, I usually save them anyway. You never know, you might have a bike where you just desperately need a brake pad, but I mean, they are Weinmann. But yeah. And the reason this is here, if you put this in the wrong way, like you say you switch this around and you put this on this side of the brake, the first time you hit the brakes going down a hill, this pad will probably go zinging out of there in front of you. So that's why that is there. It holds the pad in, and then you put it this way on this side. If you put it the wrong way and put the pad on the wrong way, like on this side, that pad will come zinging out of there, and you'll kind of have a bummer day. Okay. All right, but save the acorn and save the little flat, because you'll need it on your better pads. That's about it for tonight, folks. I'm tired. But what do we have here? What have we accomplished? What have we learned? We learned that Schwinn collegiate parts are pretty much interchangeable. And we learned that that wheel is not great. And also, I'd say most of this is probably the black and gum wall edge. Like if you look how high it is here, it's above that line. And then you go down here. Oh, yeah, it's way above the line here. See, it's way up into the first groove of the tread. And then you go to another spot, and it suddenly skips from the first groove of the tread down to that second groove. And then when you go over here, it's below that second groove. So when you spin the tire, yeah, the front rim isn't the greatest, but some of that is the actual gum wall being not sprayed on correctly, or however they make the tire. I don't like gum walls too much because of that. Black walls don't show that as much. This one seems to be in better shape though. Yeah, it's got a little bit. You can see it right there. Yeah. You get what you pay for, right? I could have bought some really nice Continentals or something, but these are cheapy kindas. And we did good. Yeah. So the next video, we'll probably just be cabling this up and getting ready to ride it. Yeah. So we're doing pretty good, folks. I don't like this discoloration here, though. What is going on with that? It's like this chalky spot right there. I don't know if the camera picks that up. Yeah. Maybe these have been sitting around a while. It's kind of a bummer. They weren't cheap. These were like 50 bucks. Okay, so yeah, and you know, I'll clean this up too. Okay, so 81%ers, you know what to do. Make it right. We got still more stuff to put on later. These grips, these levers Fred gave me, traded in on some good ones. These go on another bike now. Yeah, this is 10-speed stuff. That's nice, but it's not for that bike. This is definitely not going on. That's going in the whatever box. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Keep their wheels on the road, folks. If you are going to work on old bikes in the future, you've got some projects, I suggest you buy a bulk amount of parts now. Things are changing in the manufacturing world and importing world, and if you notice, a lot of stuff for bikes is from overseas. I'm pretty sure these tubes are from overseas. Let's see, it's imported to San Luis Obispo, but it's made in China. Okay. And this is Kent International, made in China. Okay, so yeah, obviously America can't even make an inner tube for bikes. So a lot of the bike parts that you're going to get are from overseas. So if you're into old bikes and you're going to work on some this winter into the spring, bulk up now. Get your little bunker of bike parts ready, because it's going to be a rough one. Hey, Faulkner Fixes All. I hope you enjoyed this super long, extravagant video of me actually getting stuff done and talking to. Sorry, I had to talk, but that's the way it is. And yeah, that's what we got, man. 5-speed action. And I'm really sorry, little parts bike, but without you, without this bike, this wouldn't happen. All right, folks. Keep the old bikes running. It's going to be okay.